She'll get down and sing a song to her. It'll be great. She'll get down and sing. Isn't that amazing? Everybody.
Logan. No.
You keep struggling. Testing.
No, that's good. No, that's all fine. Good. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Good. I do not expect you to fit at all. I like how he controls that. Have you watched that It's pretty good. They go through the whole rehab first That's what I like the most about it. Yeah. Trying to, yeah. You know, they get you it's fun. Yeah. So that's all the time. You're all sitting on your page. Just one here. All right. I get another 150 Canadian. I ain't going to go cash. You ever see a ball in my car? Well, it's several things that move. Yeah, it responds to. Qualified for minister. Yeah, well, that's half of it. Oh, probably have the line that came in, probably line. I'm sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we don't. Later, yeah. He got the elevator coming down from the line. Get with that. Oh. Yeah. She didn't recognize him at first. Well, inside the game. Yeah, we got the rest of the card guys. Oh, yeah. And I had my belt with me. He's like, oh, we dressed up. He's like, that shit. What kind of game? It's a wrestling card that game. Oh, I've seen it. Yeah. Real easy to learn and real fun to play. Yeah, I'll probably stop by there. I think I saw them at Dragon Con. Yeah, they were Dragon Con. I got a couple cars, a little ribbon, badge, that's pretty neat stuff. Pretty fun to get into the hotel lobby last night playing the tournament. Years and years and years ago, I saw drive by and sit down and started making tunes for wrestling training card game. What are you on doing? Well, the joke is he was there with him when he signed his get it on there. I'll get the here. Yeah. It is there. He had his heart broken last year. So the joke is that he found come up to I didn't get to go side got some stuff pretty good. Like which was no guy commented some pictures, signatures, and also a lot of supportive. Oh yeah. Hey, so yeah, you did. He signed on a napkin when he waited because he wanted some water. Give me a picture. I'll go get a bottle of water. So he took a picture of the wait staff and inside. I guess he traded out, so that's okay. You know, I don't want to harass some guys. Oh, that's pretty good. Dragon was in there. And last night, a lot of reps. You don't say hi to them. A lot of those guys actually a lot of them. Oh yeah. Water box out here. Yeah. The AC hotel. It was easy. What was that hotel called? AC hotel. AC. Yeah. Out of the apartment today, 12 to 5. Got inflatables and all kinds of stuff.
All right, we'll get things started. I think you guys know these individuals without introduction. We have Teddy Long, we have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and then I guess if Undertaker calls you mayor, I guess we have to call you mayor first. Or how does that?
Mayor.
That's all.
He calls me anything he wants to call me, trust.
All right, so we things start. Like I said, I'm Clay Coleman or Freak Daddy with the Huntsville Havoc. This is Mike Myerson. Michael, my phone, so when he gets to questions from the audience, just raise your hand and I'll let these individuals start out first. Go from there.
We're waiting on you, Blair.
So, Long, if you could, I've followed your career for years. Can you talk a little bit about your transition from being a referee at Jim Crockett onto on-screen management, and then?
Well, I started out refereeing, and when I was doing that, I had a ride with Kevin so, well, those two guys that I ride with, I told them what I did before I broke into wrestling, and that was this shot, radio station. So we used to get on the road and we'd get a case of beer, and and then once we get the feeling, I turn radio down and I start DJing for them. So they saw the call, but they saw the other picture. I didn't have any idea that they were thinking about, trying to get me to manage. So that's how I started managing. We found out that I could talk, we went off to the promoters, and I got to manage. That's how I
All right. Raise your hand if you have a question, please. What's your name?
My name's Carl. My name's Carl, and I met you the first time, and you first. I do have a question. I know you were on the WWE auction and all that stuff, so your original mask and all. And I saw you on the WWE Mr. Ricky Steamboat. Have you sold anything for the WWE museum? You know what I'm saying? Your item for your stuff.
Am I still in the museum?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Lost Treasure show?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's right. There's stuff for
and then look at us.
Well, actually, first of all, since we didn't say anything to start, which I guess we're supposed to, it's really an honor for me to be sitting up here with these two guys. Teddy Long is kind of the identity of SmackDown, right? When people think about SmackDown, think about Teddy Long as a general manager, which is awesome. He's tried to teach me the dance thing. I cannot do that. And then Ricky Simba, I think, is the best babyface wrestler that I've ever seen.
I'll give you the 20 when we get outside.
Just give me the dragon wings. That's fair. It's interesting in wrestling and in other forms of acting. People don't they forget that so and so was this character back in the day. And in wrestling, they never ever forget anything, right? People still talk to me about the Christmas creature, which I was like 2 weeks in Memphis back in 1992. But I hated the Isaac Yankem character. That was a weird time in WWE because they had gone straight cartoon characters and extremely PG. As much as people might fuss about the product being PG at other times, it was super, super PG. And that was not, Vince, of course, thought it was going to be successful. I remember when he told me about it, that was something he'd always wanted to do. But right after that, you see the company take this very hard turn towards cutting edge and Stone Cold Steve Austin and all that. So that was I couldn't sink my teeth into the character, pun intended. The fake Diesel character was actually a step up for me. Because I proved that, I'd stuck with the Isaac Yankem character, and then the fake Diesel character, I proved my performance was good enough for the chance at Kane. So despite the fact that I was not necessarily thrilled with those, they got my foot in the door for the huge opportunity in a couple years. Thanks.
Mr. Steamboat.
Let me say something. I wanted to tell Kane this. This is a good story, and I know Kane will appreciate this. When he was talking about it, I was trying to teach him about doing my dance, but he didn't do it. One time I got ready to walk out Gorilla Kane, and just as I get ready to go, Vince called me over and he says to me, I want you to walk right up there and do that dance. Take dance. Now I know Taker just like Ben knows him, and I know Taker dance. So the next thing I know, if I take a good dance, he may touch me. So I walk right down to the ring and I walk right up the tag and I'm doing that dance. And I said, "Don't hit me, it's going to do this." and I know came. Yeah.
There are two matches that stand out to me. WrestleMania 3 with Macho Man. And so,
and get Savage's attention and just hold up 3 for WrestleMania, and then turn around and walk back. The reason I wanted to be on the road because I hooked up with Randy after the shows at either his room, hotel, or mine, and we started collaborating. I told Savage, I said, we're not having any tune-up matches. Yeah. So we started doing that. Every night that I was in the same town with him, just for a moment. We got so deep into the match that we were like 230 steps. And we compressed it down to about 60 on this legal tablet, and during that time frame in our business, in the 80s, typical match would have, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 finishes. So and we tried to put this match together in 24 finishes. Beat each other. And I would go, okay, step number 35 is this. Tell me 36, 37, and we go back and forth. Our family is this, and the rest of the match. We had it was completely memorized. We didn't have any matches together. I like having matches like that because I get the feel of him, his speed, how he works, how he feels, his doors, some guys have questions about this, but didn't have that opportunity. And when we started putting it together, we just put on a feeling about
we knew that one of us was pretty athletic, and we can move pretty quick. Savage moved quick, I can move. We knew that. So, in putting this whole thing together, it was strictly on a gut feeling. It was going to be a hit or miss, you know. And there was a time in the match on him and me which we flat. And what's the next false finish? And I would start to tell him, oh, I got it. And then we go on the match, and all I flat. I said, Savage, I'm lost. What's it you need to tell me? And that's all I got, you know. But 20 consecutive finishes and remember them. And that was stressful. It was so never so stressed out. And I had over 5,000 matches, and I've never so stressed that particular match. I would have had it fair, and we would know the finish. And the finish would be 2-3 minute match. The other thing you would call it. I'll beg off. You charge me. I'll stick my feet up and run me. Go to the back. The referee to get down and count. You see how important that is? Make sure that I quiver me and he gets down to count before I put my feet up and run. A lot of you guys today, they'll do it. They'll represent actually never middled the situation. And that's all and I go out and work for an hour, 50 minutes in a match, and we would talk for 30 seconds. So there's your difference, okay? One completely put together and stressed to the gills, day of the show. I'm walking around the Silverdome talking to myself. Step number one, step number two. And then Savage and I are passing each other in the hallways, and I'm hearing him doing the same thing.
That's awesome. Art form, really, so much. You had a question, sir?
My name is Riley, and this is Kane. What was your favorite opponent and why?
That is a very difficult question because, like Ricky, I had many great opponents, and your opponent is without a good opponent, you're not going to have a good match. Okay, so I was very fortunate to have some of just the best ever, you know, Austin, and Rock, and Triple H, and Undertaker, Mick Foley, Mankind, yes. And so many more. My favorite just was always Undertaker because, and our matches actually weren't the best matches because we were so much alike. We were both big guys, and that made it a little difficult to have. You had the story, which is why those were my favorite matches. My favorite opponent because of the story which made the match, but the matches themselves, you know, we were mirror images of one another, which made it a little difficult. And we didn't have that built-in story that you can have with a guy like Ricky Steamboat. He's not big, he's not quite as big. You can kind of have that David Goliath thing. And obviously,
I like that, not quite as big.
Yeah. he's a big jack guy too. Yeah. But you know what I mean. And also, I think in the end, people always wanted to see us as a tag team. It's like, let's actually get through the whole rivalry thing so you can get together. But ultimately, it would have been Undertaker. Thank you. Good question.
My name's Kane.
Seriously, did you do the third one I've run into today?
Okay, good. I don't feel so awkward.
Sorry, no, normally that would be a thing, right? But today it's like it's the thing.
It is, but it is an honor to meet you, gentlemen. My question is one I love asking wrestlers any chance I can get. What is, and if you can tell this story or not, what is the favorite rib that you've ever pulled, or one that you pulled yourself that you can actually? Some can't, some can't.
I got one. Really, working in the Mid-Atlantic region, motions. Back in the day, there were territories around the country, right? Florida had its own, Georgia had its own, Tennessee had two, Alabama had its own, almost every state had their own promotion. And so I'm working with Jay Youngblood, and we were tag team. We were the NWA tag team champions in 5 different occasions. And anyway, we're driving back from, I think, Charleston, South Carolina, back to Charlotte, and driving, we fell asleep. Pastor said his head against the window. He had on like that, I had on like that. So he's sleeping like that, and so I'm driving, and I'm looking over at him. So I reach over and hit my button, I start putting his window down. Let me back. I call an 18-wheeler tow truck. 18 he was towing a cab of another 18. Okay. He was towing a cab of this other 18. You see nothing but this big, huge grill, right? Peterbilt grill, right? Right. Like about 8, 10 feet from the front. So in other words, if you look at through my windshield, all you see is and his long black hair started going up. And I slowly put the window up to the block his black hair. I look at him, put my face on. Holy shit! All it is a head-on, it's a head-on collision, right? Well, realizes that this big and now he's got his hair stuck in his head. Oh, you got a long ways to go to get home.
That was fun. They went on TV. And is usually first turn up to 11, as we say. Some people play that. So mine was a little different. It was a character, but what I could do was that it actually allowed me kind of freedom, you know, to if I had any, this is what I do.
Well, I'll talk about my character. My character really me. I didn't change. The way I am was on TV. That's the way I am right now. You see me on play. You know, the first thing when I first Vince didn't really know me, so they were going to give me this character, and they wanted me to be like King. That's what the writers told me. So I like whatever. I had to say King. I knew it was my son, but you know, I didn't even think about that. I just went on TV and just started being me, and Vince just liked it because I was. That's why I was really because I was relaxed. I was being myself. I wasn't trying to be nobody. So my character, play started from I had a Labrador lab dog. And every time his name was Boss, and I was at home, and every time he get in the way of something, I just said, "Come on, play up, move out of the way, play up, move out of the way." The dance I got from my grandson, we were trying to teach him how to walk. So he was about 2 years old, so we bought this walker. And every time we put him in it, he just started just like that all the time. So I went to teach it. So SmackDown then we would tape on a Tuesday and go back home and watch it on Fridays. When the dance from my grandson, I said, "Hey, look, I'm doing your dance, I'm doing your dance." So one day I got ready to walk out, and Vince looks at me, "Hey, do that dance, do that dance." That's how it happened. I even had Vince doing the dance, so I knew it was okay.
When I was a young teenager, I started taking Taekwondo, okay, and also wrestled amateurs in high school. And then when I got into pro wrestling, and I started implementing some of the Taekwondo stuff that I learned as a kid, and that made me a different character than the other guys, okay? And I did that for the first 10 years, and then after that, I got a call from Vince. He wanted me to come up and talk to him about coming into the WWF at the time. It was WWF. And so Vince was big on coming up with names and owning trademark rights to names, registering. So I already had 10 years of Ricky Steamboat, and that was pretty well established and well known. So he, with Pat Patterson, in a roundtable discussion, wanted to come up with something we could add to Ricky Steamboat. So taking martial arts as a kid, I was also a big Bruce Lee fan, and Bruce Lee came up with some movies, you know, what was like Enter the Dragon, you know. So once the dragon popped up into discussion, and, you know, he said, "That's it. We can add Ricky the Dragon, you know, Steamboat." And so that's how that name got added on the last 10 years of my career. And as soon as I left his house and I was back at the airport getting ready to fly back home, I lived in Charlotte. I got on my phone to my trademark attorney. I said, "You need to trademark the dragon. You need to trademark the dragon for wrestling purposes, you know, because I already had Ricky Steamboat trademarked." And then I trademarked the dragon. And 2 weeks later, I was doing my first TV and walking by Vince, and he looks at me and he says, "You beat me to it." And I didn't know what he was talking about, because we're just like this, right? "You beat me to it." And I said, "What do you mean? I didn't trademark the dragon, didn't you?" "Well, that's business, right?" I own, you know, Rick Steamboat and now the dragon, right? And so, but I thought, you know, own the right to anything wrestling related. If they wanted to use the dragon and making a movie on something else, a martial arts movie or something like that, yeah, only wrestling related. So that's how. My caricature was mostly trying to be a ninja type, martial art type guy, which I wanted to be different. All of us develop our own caricatures so that we can be different from the guy that we're standing in the ring with, and could be easily identified with the wrestling fans. Fans tell us all the time when they think of Ric Flair or Macho Man or me or Kane or Undertaker, immediately pops in the guy's persona and his caricature, right? Everybody had their own identity, which made us special in a way, right? It made us very special. So I hope that helped answer your question. Yeah.
Very good, gentlemen. Thank you. All right, so this is going to be our last question, guys. Make sure you hold it close.
My name is Nick, and I was wondering, this is for all three of you, what is your favorite promo or backstage moment that you ever did on Raw or SmackDown?
Favorite promo?
I got two. One is one, of course, is the one with Rock and Hogan, or
Yes.
Hogan.
That
And everybody, people are like, well, how'd you do that? I was like, I grew up watching Hulk Hogan. Every male in America my age could do Hulk Hogan. And the other one was when Daniel Bryan and I won the tag team championship.
Think of any one Flair or Savage, so it's that howdy doody type of always going to go out there and try my best type of promo. Kind of bold.
All right, well, welcome you guys in. Thank y'all so much for coming. My name is Clem, also appreciate from Huntsville Rapids. So, kind of help moderate these things today. So, we got a bunch of these today. So, excited to have y'all here. Mike Myerson is a friend of mine. He's the Jason Albert fan. He's a huge fan of this whole thing. So, he'll be running around with the microphone. Try to speak as loud as you can, microphone, because it's not the best, but we'll try to make sure we get the questions up to Lou. But without further ado, please put your hands together for the legendary Lou Ferrigno.
Thank you. Good morning. It's good to be back in this together with the pandemic. Nice to be back. No mask, free faces, normal back to life. By the way, next Thursday, at the beginning of my series, it's a film miniseries called The Offer. It's like The Godfather. It's for 6 months. So it's a different aspect compared with stuff before. It's a whole, because this shows you like The Godfather, how the movie got maybe actually played Panto, Chino, De Niro. So it's a good show. I don't know, but anyway, I'm excited to be back here, especially I got my first vaccination. Yeah, so it's good to be vaccinated. People know, because we go through a change in society now, the whole world. But thanks for coming to the show. When I was young, when I was a kid, I wish I had something like this to attend, to be celebrities in, because life who are about to overcome first with the hearing and speech issue, to just fighting the whole thing, and fast forward to 15 years later, I became the hall, which